Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Ink and Fig. My name is Kalaya, and the teeth are back, which means it's time for the Orilium Readathon. My name is Alex, and if you have no idea what this is all about, that is perfectly okay. In the month of August, we are doing the Autumn Equinox of the Orilium Readathon, hosted by Book Roast over on her channel. I will link all of the good stuff for that down below, so you can go and check it out. So I am dressed up as my character for this readathon. Her name is Kalaya, as I previously said. She is an Iltirian from Dark Meadow, so I'm basically a vegan vampire who can turn into a crow, which I think is pretty sweet. I really like Kalaya. She's very close to my heart. I've actually started a D&D campaign with her, with a couple of friends of mine, and she's just turning into the coolest person of all time, and she has my whole heart. So this is me in costume. I actually have my arcane focus on today, so this is just a piece of clear quartz that I purchased on Etsy on a lovely leather cord. And yeah, I got some new glasses specifically for Kalaya. I love them very much. The teeth are, here. I just have them in my kit of many things because I'm that kind of person, so anyway, that's why I look the way that I look. What you're here to figure out is what I'm reading for the readathon. The answer is actually mixed. Some of the books I actually don't know what they're going to be yet, which is kind of cool because I usually go into things quite heavily planned out and I'm like ready to go, but now I'm kind of leaning more into my mood reading phase, so I'm like, we're just gonna figure it out as we go. Now, that said, I do have some picks and I actually have already finished one of my books. So, at time of filming, it is August 1st, and because we did so well in the spring equinox, we actually all got to start 3 days early. So we should have started, or could have started, on the 29th of July. I started on the 28th because the 29th for me was just like wildly busy. Nonetheless, I have already finished one of my prompts. So, let's get into what I'm reading. I am going for the Necromancer calling. This is my second year of Necromancy, and this is my second semester of my second year of Necromancy, so I'll be moving up, hopefully, in the fall should I finish all of my courses. Now, for the Autumn Equinox, we basically have to pass exams with a level of grading, which means that there are 3 available levels for each course that we're taking, and each of those levels, you have to read a different book to achieve that level. So you have to achieve between ordinary, qualified, and distinguished, and that varies based on what calling it is you're doing. So for Necromancy, we're just going to start from the top and work our way down on what I'm reading. The first class that I have is Animal Studies, and I just need to achieve an ordinary level for this exam, which means 1 book. Now, the book for this is Pet Pick, and for those playing along at home, I do not have a pet. However, my bestest and oldest friend does have a pet. She is a kitty named Aurora, and she's very cute. So I'm going to be picking out a small list of books to take over to their house and have Aurora pick me a book. And I will film that and pop that into a future vlog this month. So stay tuned for cat content because I'm really excited about that. So my next class is actually my most involved class, and that is Conjuration. I have to achieve all 3 levels for this class in order to progress. For my O level, I need to read a court or royal book, so I am actually a third of the way through A Court of Mist and Fury. This is on audiobook. I have it out from my library, and it's actually due in 4 days, so I really have to get this one done in short order in order to achieve this prompt. Yeah, so far so good. It's thirstier than the first one, but we're getting there. It's gonna be fine. The qualified level for this course is... this one's kind of a long one. A book inspired or set in a different culture or country than yours. I do have a book for this. However, I don't want to show you the book because I'm actually doing it for one of my special videos that I teased in one of my last videos. It's part of some special content that I have coming up for you soon, but I can't spoil what the book actually is. That said, it is set in a culture and country very different from mine, and it's written by women. So I'm really excited to layer all of that in, and I can't wait to get started with that book because it's been on my TBR for about 6 months, and I just haven't gotten to it yet, so this month it's finally happening. So for the distinguished level in conjuration, I have to read an indie or self-published book, and I have decided to read Unlocking by Amy LeBlanc. Now, this one is not technically self-published. It is published by the University of Calgary Press. However, I kind of would classify that myself as an indie press. So that's how I'm choosing to interpret this prompt. Amy LeBlanc is actually an old classmate of mine from my university days in our creative writing classes. She has published 3 or 4 books, and I think this is her this is either her first or second book that she ever published, and I'm really happy that I finally got my hands on it. It's extremely short, but like I remember her writing style being really compelling when we were in school together, so I'm excited to see what she's done with this book, and I hope to report back to you on this one soon. And Amy, if you're watching, I can't wait to read your book. Okay, so the next course that I have to take is Spells and Incantations, and I have to achieve Ordinary level and Qualified level for this course. The first one that I have to read is a manga, and I have actually already finished that. I read the 34th volume of My Hero Academia. I am quite behind. I'm about 90 chapters behind right now, so it's you know, it's gonna be fine. I finished it, so that's one off already. The qualified level, I have to read a book with an all-black cover. Now, I have got options upon options upon options for this prompt. What I have chosen to go with is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I read Night of the Mannequins earlier this year for the alchemy side quest, actually, for Orilium, and it was so good. Like, it fucked me up. It was so mind-bendy and terrifying. Like, I just loved every second of it. So I'm really excited to read this one. This one's been on my TBR for a couple of years, but again, I just haven't been able to work it in. So I'm hoping for more horror goodness in this book, because I've heard amazing things about it, and I'm just really excited about it. So finally reading The Only Good Indians. All right, I skipped Demonology. I need to achieve an O level in this course, and that one is, oh, the first book that you see on Instagram, Goodreads, etc. I have not picked this one yet, but we are going to pick that book together in one of my next vlogs. Once I get a couple of these off the docket, we're going to go and scroll through my Instagram together, and we're going to find a book to read, so stay tuned for that. So the last one is my O level for Restoration. Now that one is simply to start a book before bed, so basically I could pick whatever I wanted for this, and I just had a really compelling conversation with a bunch of my co-workers about Friedrich Bachmann, who I own like 6 of his books, and I've never actually read him, so I'm like, now is finally the time. So I'm reading Beartown. This is about hockey, and it sounds like murder. So I like both of those things. So we're going to be jumping into Beartown by Friedrich Bachmann. I started this before bed a couple of days ago, but admittedly I'm only about 6 pages in, because I am focusing on A Court of Mist and Fury right now, because that is due at the library shortly. However, this is going to be the one that I'm focusing on next, and honestly, I have high hopes for this. Hockey and murder are 2 of my favorite things, so let's go Beartown. That was a really quick video. I don't really have much more to tell you about what's going on with the Readathon. I am going to be continuing to chug away at the alchemy side quest during this time if I have extra room for more books. So I'm on my 3rd read for that, and I'm going to be reading. I'm not going to tell you where I am on the tree just to prevent spoilers and things, but my next task is to read a book that coincides with I Want to Die, But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. So I'm going to be reading that. I did not bring that upstairs with me, and I do not want to go get it, so I'll just pop a picture of that up here for you. So I'm going to be reading that because it was on the lowest shelf of my TBR cart. So it met the prompt, and that's what I'm going to be reading. Assuming I have time. Now, granted, that one is super short, so I might be able to punch that out in just like a weekend if I've got the time, but we are going to see, because a couple of these books, incidentally, are slightly on the longer side, particularly Beartown, which is apparently like 500 pages, but it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm also on vacation this week and next week, so I have tons of free time in which to get these books read, so I'm not too worried about that. So I think that is all for today. I'm not going to keep you here with my rambling for too much longer. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed already so that you can see all of the fun stuff that I've got coming up throughout the month of August and onwards into the future, because we're trying to get back on the content train. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you are participating in the readathon, and if so, tell me about your character and your calling and what you're reading this month, because I would love to hear all about it. Hit the like button if you like this video so that other people can find us and come join the fun. And then go ahead and follow me on all my social media. I'm InkinFig just about everywhere. I have recently joined Threads, if that ends up becoming like a thing that people are actually into. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.